Actually, when my parents were looking for a partner for me, I always used to ask, does he want me to quit the job? If it is yes, a strict no to that man. So one morning, my mother told me, why do you have two engines for aircraft? I said, if one engine fails, to fly for a reasonable period of time with the remaining engine and land at the most suitable airfield. She said, exactly. You have to have two income sources for a family. So she was encouraging me to work and supported me to work. Women's Day should not be celebrated only the 8th of March. It has to be an ongoing thing where you should not suddenly talk about the women only on the Women's Day. Motherhood is also all about multitasking. Sometimes I'm a cooker, I'm a cleaner. As I always say, excellence is not by accident. You've got to do a lot of hard work to become successful. A woman has to be financially independent and also self-reliant. Giving up is very easy, but to continue is the most difficult part.
Hi everyone, welcome to She Digital. Today we have a remarkable guest with us who has shattered stereotypes and soared to the new heights in the sky. Also, I'm thrilled to introduce you to the Sri Lankan second female pilot, Captain Shamika R. Welcome, Captain.
Hi, Boan.
Can you tell us what inspired you to become pilot?
Yeah, when I was a little child at the age of 2 or 3, when an aircraft goes in the sky, I used to look at the sky and tell my mother, I want to be a pilot. It was my childhood dream, and which came true later on. And when I was in the university, I somehow wanted to be a pilot, and which I worked on that. So here I am.
Can you tell us your career journey and key achievements?
I went to Visakha Vidyalaya, and after getting selected to the university, when I was at Jayawardenepura University, in my first year, I somehow wanted to fulfill my dream of becoming a pilot. So when I told this to my parents, actually they did not really encourage me because I was into my studies. They thought that I'm going to enter into a field which is really unknown to everyone and mess it up. So they did not encourage me as much as I thought. And to be a pilot, you have to spend quite a lot of money. To support my parents financially and to finance my flying, I thought I should find a job. That is how I ended up at Sri Lankan Airlines as a flight stewardess while I was a student in the university. So I would say that this was the most stressful 3 years of my life, where after a flight of about 12 to 13 hours after landing in Colombo, I used to straight away go to the university and participate in the lectures because 80% attendance was a must at that time. That times we did not have online lecturing, so we had to physically go to university and attend the lectures. And likewise, my 3 years of my life went on, and at the end of 3 years, I managed to finish my degree in mathematics, statistics, and physics, and finish CIMA up to the final stage, and also collect a substantial amount of money to do my flying. And afterwards, I went to USA and did my flight training, obtained my private pilot license, commercial pilot license, and instrument rating with multi-engine rating, and returned back to Sri Lanka. After returning back to Sri Lanka, there has to be a workplace for me to work. And Sri Lankan Airlines is only a place where they recruit cadet pilots and train us on Airbuses like this. Actually, they recruit about 6 to 8 cadet pilots a year, so this is a very, very competitive process. You have to be in the best 8. And first time I studied so hard to get into Sri Lankan, I did not leave any room for me to fail, but I failed. Then after that, the second time I studied even harder and I managed to pass. And I was trained on Airbus 320 fleet and later on 330 fleet and 340 fleet. And after 6 years, I was promoted as a captain on Airbus 320 and 330 fleets. And I'm working as a captain for the last 12 years now.
The aviation industry has been quite male dominated. So how you manage to not just to survive but to thrive in that environment?
Yes, aviation industry is quite male dominated. I totally agree with you. But Sri Lankan Airlines did not have any gender discrimination. They gave fair and equal opportunities to all the female candidates as well. So we had to go through the same process as a male candidate and prove ourselves. And afterwards, we were recruited and trained on these Airbuses 320. Later on, based on our performance, upgraded us to 330 and 340 fleet. Of course, we had to work quite hard to achieve this, and nothing was easy. And I always believe you've got to work hard. Excellence is not by accident. A lot of hard work is involved to be successful. Yeah.
As a pilot, making fast decisions is crucial in your job. How did you take this experience and apply it to your personal life as a parent, mother, or a wife?
Yeah. When we are up in the sky, most of the decisions are made about 35,000, 40,000 feet above mean sea level. So when we make these decisions, generally the conditions are not so good. The weather is bad, there is a technical fault, and there is some problem with the passenger. So under very not calm and quiet conditions, we have to make these decisions. Yes. So whatever decision that we make, it has to be the correct decision, because this is an unforgiven job. It has to be 100% correct, because a pilot's decision has to be 100% correct, because it can have some adverse effects afterwards if we don't make the correct decision. And multitasking and decision making is very, very important to a pilot. At the same time, I would say motherhood is also all about multitasking. Sometimes I'm a cooker, I'm a cleaner, I have to look after my kids. I think it supports both ways in my job as well as what I do here, multitasking in my job. It helps in my motherhood as well.
In your career, have you ever encountered a situation where despite you have the same qualification and experience as a male counterpart and the opportunity was simply given to him because you are a woman? And how did you navigate such challenges and advocated these opportunities?
Yeah, of course. I have not encountered any such situation in Sri Lankan Airlines, because so far we have been treated very well. But you have to maintain your level of competency, and you have to be consistent in this job. So I got my promotions at the correct time, together with my male colleague pilots. But I have seen certain companies in the world where they do not recruit female pilots because I think it is not financially quite profitable for the company in this job. When we be pregnant, we can't fly. So for the first 10 months, we have to be out of flying. But Sri Lankan Airlines actually immediately remove us from flying and give us the same salary and give us a different job function to do during that time. But not that every company is ready to do that.
In a country where it's often men marries women who have regular 9 to 5 jobs, you have chosen career in aviation, and that's not typical soft job. How did you go breaking this norm?
Actually, when my parents were looking for a partner for me, I always used to ask, does he want me to quit the job? If it is yes, a strict no to that man. So, but later on, I found my husband who is really supportive of what I'm doing, and he's proud of me, and that is the reason why I'm still in this job. And I know my job is not from 8 to 5 job, and work from home concept is not relevant to us at all. When we do international flights, we go out of the country, and we'll be back after 2 3 days. So this has to be understood by the person whom we are getting married to. And also, I must tell you, when my kids were very small, I was struggling a lot. And when they were very young, they did not understand. When I get into the uniform, they see and they cry. The mother disappears and appears back after 2 3 days. But now they are in an age where I can tell them certain dates where I'm, and they learn in school the countries. So I show them on map. This is the country I'm going today, and I'll be back after this day. So it is somewhat getting easier for me. But earlier it was difficult.
As you have broken barriers, how does it make you feel? Are you proud what you have achieved as a woman today? And your family, does they show their pride in what you have done?
Yeah, my journey towards success is not a rosy path. I had to overcome a lot of barriers, and here I am today. As I always say, excellence is not by accident. You've got to do a lot of hard work to become successful. To experience the happiness in success, you have to experience the bitterness and the painfulness of the failure. ජයග්‍රහණයේ සතුට භුක්ති විඳීමට නම් පරාජය වේදනාව අත්විඳ අත්දැක තිබිය යුතුයි. I always believe in this. My parents, my family, my husband, my kids, they are quite big enough to understand what I'm doing, and they all are very proud of me.
What, in your view, defines an independent woman, and do you think being self-reliant is important for women today?
Independent, I can say that a woman has to be financially independent and also self-reliant. But for me personally, it doesn't apply that way, because when you're in a family, there's a lot of give and take, sharing and caring, and also financially you contribute to the family, and so you can't be too independent when you're in a family. But I always, this is what my mother always said when we were small. In a family of 3 girls, my mother said, a woman has to be financially independent. And she supported us to pursue our careers without stopping that halfway through. Maybe because what she wanted to prove what she said when we were small.
Looking ahead, what's your vision for the future women in aviation, and what steps do you think that we need to take for more gender equal industry? And how do you see that your role is inspiring our generation?
Okay, the first question that you asked me, when we started to fly, and when we told this to our parents, at that time there were no female pilots in Sri Lanka. So our parents were not supporting us that much, because they did not know what is industry and how our job function will be if we get into this. But as time passed, there are lots and lots of females joined to this industry, and we have proved that you can still have a very normal life with children, and at the same time maintain a very well balanced work-life environment. So I think it's easier for a up-and-coming female to make a decision whether should I enter this, should I be successful. I definitely say yes. If you want to achieve your dream, you could go ahead. It is quite easy, and but you have to work hard for it. There was a time that I had 2 kids under the age of 2.5, and certain nights I had to be up the whole night, and likewise I had to go to work, and sometimes I had to continue the day and night like that. After some time, I remember I told my mother, I can't continue like this anymore, I want to quit. So one morning my mother told me, why do you have 2 engines for aircraft? I said, if one engine fails, to fly for a reasonable period of time with the remaining engine, and land at the most suitable airfield. She said, exactly, you have to have two income sources for a family. So she was encouraging me to work and supported me to work. So likewise, I continued I managed to persuade my career. So I think that is the biggest inspiration. With all the hardships that we went through, I am doing this job without quitting it. Giving up is very easy, but to continue is the most difficult part.
Difficult part, of course. So, in 2024, International Women's Day, this year the theme is Inspire Inclusion. What is your idea about it? And also, is it important to celebrate Women's Day in Sri Lanka?
Yes. Uh, you have to inspire uh, everyone else to include women in different part of things. So women, they'll get inspired by being included. They'll feel that they are respected, they are relevant, and also the women are empowered. I think Women's Day should not be celebrated only the 8th of March. Uh, it has to be an ongoing thing where you should not suddenly talk about the women only on the Women's Day.
What do you think about She digital media? That is, usually medias are mainly male dominated. So, but in She digital, we are mostly talking about women and for their voice and for their topics. What do you think about this?
Yes, actually, I'm thankful to She Digital Media for empowering women and talking about women's issues. And it's a dedicated channel for women in this country. So I'm very thankful for the job function that you're doing at the moment, and wish you all the very best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, Captain Shamika.
Thank you very much.